And if, okay, so I get to 19, or so then I get to my middle thing, and instead of evolution, I'm going to say modern AI or something like that, right? So I get to modern. I have it centered here, all in big capital letters. Okay, I have my little page here. So then maybe I'll have a short sentence introducing modern AI, and then I want to use a level 2 heading that says safety, right? So then in italics, I talk about how AI was using safety. And that's a level 2 heading because it's still under modern AI, but I use this because now I'm just going to talk about, I'm going to have a paragraph or two about safety and how AI can be used to keep people safe. And then I might have a same level 2 heading about, what did I say, where you're watching them? Surveillance. Right? And then maybe whatever. And so
changing concepts.
What was that?
Changing concepts.
Yeah. So this is a way to organize where your reader understands. It's kind of a logical organizational tool for you. Okay. The cool thing about this is pretend, especially with technology being as it is, almost everything can be found on the web nowadays, right? And when you go onto the web, you can think of these sections as hyperlinks, okay? So if I already know quite a bit about the history of AI, but I really want to know a little bit about future implications, I can just click on that future implications link and it just takes me straight to that section, right? And I don't have to read the rest of the paper. I can just read about future implications of artificial intelligence. Which, like I said, the future implications, a lot of them are saying that artificial intelligence can actually learn by itself. And so I know that one of the things is in medical was another one that I know that person did, so health. I know medical advances. Anyway, when he was looking at that, the future implication was that since AI can teach itself, it is able to actually take DNA code and just decode it. What took us 300 years to decode took artificial intelligence models 2 days. And now they're saying that if they can keep adding artificial intelligence to technologies and things like that, that exponentially we will grow. So that's kind of an interesting paper. But you can see where, since it's such a long paper and so many little subtopics to talk about, it helps to have these leveled headings so that a person can move throughout your paper. But you still have the idea of paragraph unity in that this paragraph is only going to be about safety. This paragraph is only going to be about how we can use artificial intelligence in surveillance. The next paragraph is only going to be about medical advances. Okay? So, it just helps.
So if you were to do one maybe about current perception of AI, and media and a general fear of it, would that be a level 2 subtopic or a level?
I would, because I think it's like a conspiracy theory type thing that you're talking about. Yeah. I would probably put that into the future implications section, because people are afraid of the technology. So one of the implications could be that that fear factor. Okay, that's where I would put it, but, okay, something too, especially for you. Yes, no, this is especially for you. Okay. Don't make this more than it is.
Okay.
You cannot make this a 20-page paper.
Okay.
Okay? Each section, this safety section for this person, maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs. The surveillance section, only thing that he was talking about in surveillance was a lot of, he was talking about how like a lot of the break-ins and things like that.
A sentence.
Paragraphs. This is a paragraph about safety. And he was talking about automobiles using artificial intelligence for safety issues. Yeah, a couple paragraphs. 1 or maybe 2 or 3 at the most. 1 would be fine, really. But when he got to medical advances, for example, he actually had 3 medical advances that were helped with AI. And one was a breast cancer detecting thing that this girl from high school actually won a prize for. She had developed a bunch of this code, and it was artificial intelligence code that now they could feed back into a machine, and it is it's diagnosing a certain kind of cancer at 97% rate. Cool. And she was only like 16 or 17 when she developed it. Wow. And then another one that he was talking about was the there's this video game that they've been giving. They used actually gamers, video game code writers, to make artificial intelligence codes, and that was what I was talking about trying to figure out DNA strands. They had lost a section of the DNA strand that they needed to cure something, and so they've been getting video gamers to create a video game, and as they're beating the video game fills in the genetic code. And they were able to beat the game and fill in the genetic code, and all of a sudden they have this code to cure whatever it was that they were trying to cure. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Okay? So I hope this helps. Don't make it more than it is. As I said, these are just ways to section off your paper, if you will. Okay? And it's not meant, you still have to deal with that paragraph unity idea. You can't have 17 things in one paragraph.
So how many pages is that going to be?
5 to 7 pages is a good start to a, 5 to 7 pages is a good short research paper. And that does not include, by the way, that does not include if you do a cover page, but it doesn't include your works cited page. That's separate. So 5 to 7 written pages, and then your works cited.
And you call it the research paper?
Research paper.
Annotated.
The annotated bibliography is a separate assignment.
Yeah.
Why am I telling you about it now? Because you only have 5 classes total to write your paper, right? You're doing your research now, you might, and that's the thing, with this kind of paper, a lot of it is, okay, I just learned this, and paraphrase it, you're done, right? You don't have to come up with a whole bunch of your own ideas, it's other people's ideas. So.
So in an MLA format, do you ever do an index?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can, and it shows you. Again, your best resource here, if you want to look up how to use the level headings, is that the Purdue OWL website. It'll be under probably manuscript formatting as far as what you click on. And, or you could even, I'm sure you could probably type into Google example of how to use MLA heading, MLA level headings, yeah. And it'll give you an example of how to do that. So there's lots. And if it might not be completely MLA, but you can get out any textbook and see how the textbook uses headings. It's the same exact premise. Okay? So, or a website, how they use their hyperlinks. That's kind of the same thing. as a heading. By the way, do you have to use level headings, Mrs. Benjamin? No. You don't. If you do not want to use level headings, if you just want to write your paper, as long as you're following your thesis and it makes sense, things flow the way that they're supposed to flow, you don't have to. I think it's easier to use level heading because it helps you organize. Okay? So, questions, concerns, lunch, groans, or grapes?
Did you say overview for all papers?
What do you mean?
Listed, like overview, like you have it on the board? The same overview?
I like to use an overview, kind of explaining where I'm going with the paper. It's not first person so much, but it's just an overview of the topic per se. So other people don't, especially if you use history. Like, if you use the person who did the AI, they wouldn't do overview and history. They probably would just start off with history. I'm not making you do an abstract in this class, but eventually you'll even have to do an abstract. An abstract sounds stupid, but a summary of what you just wrote. And that way, if you ever put it up on a search engine, people could read just your abstract and not have to read your whole paper. But I'm not that mean. Get the English 392, then I'm that mean. I told you guys to go after that since we had such a small class.